hope that it will work. So, hi, welcome, Erica. How are you? Uh,
Yeah, I'm good,
yeah,
Gerson.
now
How are
you're
you?
unmuted. Yeah, that's all good. Yeah,
Yeah,
how
good.
you doing?
I'm good, thanks. How are you?
Yeah, very well, thanks. And yeah, we did a little bit of testing just before, so we didn't really have any issues. And I think it's everything working in Facebook, YouTube, and Instagram. Um,
Oh, good.
yes, and I was saying that I was very happy. Well, I am very happy today. One, because I'm interviewing a very special person and a civil engineer colleague of mine that
Thanks.
you certainly got your qualification validated last year. And I don't know if you still remember, but I keep playing your audio on and on and on and on. I don't know if you, I think I'm going to embarrass you because this audio, I almost cry when I hear this audio. Let's see if I can.
Oh my God, I'm gonna cry as well.
I think you will.
Responder, eu tô chorando de alegria aqui. Eles aprovaram meu diploma, graças a Deus, a minha validação, e aprovaram meus 2 anos de Austrália, mais 6 anos no Brasil. Meu Deus do céu, não tô aguentando de felicidade. Ai, meu Deus, obrigada, obrigada, obrigada. Não tenho nem como te agradecer. Nossa, muito obrigada. Você não sabe o quanto que você me ajudou. Depois eu vou até escrever um depoimento no Facebook te agradecendo, porque, nossa, muito obrigada. Foi muito essencial. Foi muito essencial. Obrigada mesmo.
Yeah,
Ah,
sorry for
Josh,
that, Erica.
I'm crying already.
But I think it's well, I'm pretty sure that was one of the most emotional audios that I received from my
Oh,
students. I received a lot of messages and a lot of audios letting me know that you guys received the news, the good news from Engineers Australia. But when I listened to yours, yeah, you were crying. I was crying as well here.
yeah.
Yeah.
Because we know how hard it is, isn't like it's
Yes.
really hard to get this approval from them. They are really restrict with of all competencies and all stuff. So we know how hard it
It's
is.
not
So that's
easy.
why I'm emotionally person as well. But I think after I got this response from them, I like keep crying for 2 hours. Like you were the first person that I messaged because you were essential in this path. Like
Yeah.
that's why I need to let Gerson know about it. So I record the audio and say I was crying, like I was, oh my gosh,
Oh,
I can't
yeah.
believe
I
it.
was so happy. I was so happy for you, Erica. Yeah.
Yeah, thank you.
And I know that tomorrow you gotta wake up very early because you're a very responsible person and you have to wake up
Yeah,
early to look after safety
yeah,
of your
exactly.
your company there. So I won't really take too long of your time. So first of all, I would like to thank you very much, Erica, for your time. And before we start with the questions, I just like to ask you, just to kind of break the ice, just like to ask you, what were you doing back in Brazil? Yeah, just before you come into Australia, and what did you, what did you think when you decided to come to Australia? Yeah, if you can share that with us, please.
Yeah, sure, sure. Yeah, I was working in Brazil in a Jeep manufacturer, car manufacturer plant. And after this project finished, a lot of things was going on in Brazil. So I lost my job there. So I always was planning to do some exchange to learn English. And when I was working in Brazil, we are working together with American company.
Yeah.
So the people that working there and like new speak English, they went to United States and I
All
stayed
right.
in Brazil.
Oh, wow.
Yeah. So after that, I decided to come to Australia to only learn English. And then when I got here, I fell in love, and I said I want to stay.
Yeah, it's difficult not to fall in love with Australia.
Yeah, it's really easy.
Very, very
Like in
easy.
like in the second week, I was decided to stay.
All
In the
right.
second week, I was
Yeah,
living here.
that quick.
Yeah.
And when you arrived here, did you arrive in what sort of status? Did you come as a student, or did you have a?
Yeah, I came as student visa. Yeah,
Oh,
I was holding student. I'm still holding student visa in the moment. Yeah.
yeah. And so, doing all that very interesting life, studying, working,
Studying.
saving
Yeah.
money for the visa renewal
For the
and
next
everything.
visa. Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
Yeah, and
And
the hard life in the beginning, like getting job and
yeah.
working 3 different jobs and
And
get as money as you can to pay all the bills.
yes. And when did you come? What year did you come here?
Was October 2016.
October in 2016. Wow.
Yeah.
Almost, yeah, 4.5 years already.
Yeah, almost
Yeah.
5.
Almost 5. Time passes.
Yeah, the time goes fast.
Yeah. And how did you start thinking about validating your qualification as a civil engineer? Did you know
Yeah,
that you
when I
could?
did,
Yeah.
yeah, I didn't know anything about it when I got here. I started to do a lot of research to find out how I can work as a civil engineer here.
Yeah.
So after I got a permanent job, something that I can like affordable more stuff.
Yeah.
So I decided, what can I do to become a civil engineer here?
Yeah.
So I found out how was the process to get a better visa as well.
Yeah.
So I found you.
All right. And
Like
and,
the
and how did you
website.
find me?
Yeah, I found you on a friend of mine. She found you from Facebook, and then
All
she
right.
recommended you.
Okay.
Swelling. I don't know if you remember
So
her.
Ellen, yeah, she's
Yeah.
one of my students as well. Yeah.
Yeah, she was doing your mentoring,
Yeah.
and then she said he's really good. I think you should do, because you're gonna like get all the stuff clarified. And then I decided to do, and was the best thing that I did.
All right. I don't know why, but I'll
Yeah,
take your
I
word.
don't know why. Just because I got my validation.
No, you got because of your credits. I just give a little bit of push.
Yeah, but you helped out a lot, because in the beginning of the process, I was really confused. Like, how can I sort this? Like, I don't know. Like, what's gonna be my next step?
Yeah.
How I can make this clear for them? So, if you
And-
don't know exactly
Yeah.
what needs to be done, it's hard. It's really
Yeah,
hard to.
and it's very common, yeah, for the other ones that are listening and perhaps they're having the same problem. It's very common, when you read the booklet. A lot of people say that the booklet has everything, and it does, but to understand everything and how to start, etc., some people they probably have a little bit, maybe they a bit easier for them to do it. For others it's more difficult. When I did it, it took me almost 1 year until I do it, because didn't really have a lot of information as well.
Yeah, and also because English is not our first language.
Yeah.
So like sometimes, like in my opinion, like it's not that clear for me. No, they is right there, but it's not that clear. Like
Yeah.
mainly for the all the competencies there. Like,
All right.
okay, but when I apply this, I don't remember, And
Yeah.
with your mentoring, for me was like absolutely essential. Essential.
Now that's good that you enjoyed, and you certainly got really, and I keep saying that you are a very dedicated student, and I could see that
Thank
you're
you.
investing a lot of time and a lot of effort, and you are really determined to do it. So that's very
Yeah,
important,
thank-
because my mentoring, I'm just there to kind of try to guide people in how to do it and the right way to do it. But if you and others they don't really have the determination to do it, then nobody can do it. And all right, so Swellen, she kind of adopt me to you, and you found me. Did you manage to kind of watch any contents, YouTube, Facebook, Instagram, whatever, or?
Yeah. Sometimes after she recommended you to me, I watched through YouTube some videos.
Yeah.
And I said, because I have to decide, like, what should I do? No, and then I made a research about yourself, and then from YouTube I watch some videos and say, I think it's gonna be a good investment.
Yeah, well, yeah, at that time, yeah, you started with us, yeah, back in 2000 and I think it was 2019, I think it was 2019 in October 2019. And but nowadays, obviously, I've got many more videos in YouTube. 2019 probably I still had probably few, about probably 50 videos there, but nowadays got more than 180 videos in YouTube.
Yeah, good.
So, yeah. Actually, today was very interesting. When I opened my Facebook, those memories that come. It came my very first video that I recorded 2 years ago. Because today it's my anniversary, 2 years of my project.
Oh, good!
So
Congratulations!
Yeah, thanks.
Yeah, thank you.
Yeah.
Thank you. I'm delighted to share this moment.
Yeah, very happy. Important. Yeah, I never thought that 2 years ago when I watched that video again. It's awful. It's so ugly. But yeah,
improving. It's amazing.
Yeah.
What you have done, Gerson, it's amazing. It's amazing. Like, people need know more about you. I recommend to all my friends, because it's essential. Because for us, it's hard. We started to do it, and then you have a lot of hard. It's hard to understand sometimes. Then you quit, and then you go again. And sometimes I message you sometimes saying, Gerson, I think I'm gonna quit. You said,
I
no,
remember those times.
Yeah, you are so close. Don't
you're so close.
Help us. Yeah. This help us keep going, because it's too much pressure. It's a lot of things going on, and need to invest time on this as well. It's not easy to find time to do everything. So it was essential for me. It was essential.
And then obviously you attended my workshops, and then you saw that I opened a group for my mentoring program. And what was your biggest fear just before joining my online mentoring program? Because online mentoring programs are not common. Well, at least they were not common like 2 years ago. So what was your biggest fear? Because you're paying an investment, and then you think, what's going to happen?
Well, that was my fear. I was investing money, and I thought, I need to invest money in this and get this done and approved. And I was thinking, should I invest this money if I couldn't do it, if I couldn't finish? Maybe this mentoring would be enough for I finish this project. And definitely was.
And then I went back to my records, and I saw that the day that you purchased my mentoring was on the 9th of October 2019. So obviously you are there in front of my website, and then you probably read my content, and then there was a button there, buy now. So what did make you kind of click on that button?
I'm gonna get my certification now. For me was definitely because I need to finish this, and I was take a bit of time.
Yeah.
And I thought, I think it's the best option to invest money on this to get this done. I need to finish this.
Yeah.
So after I get this perception, I say I'm gonna do this, finish this, and then, because in that time was a lot of things happened in my life.
Yeah.
So I thought is the right time? If I invest money and don't invest time, it's important you invest time. You need to have a routine, you know?
Yeah.
And then I thought, no, I'm gonna get this done because it's gonna be
So I can say
only, I
that
think
at
it was
that
one
moment,
month.
because are you a good procrastinator or a bad procrastinator?
I'm good one. I'm
Like
good
me,
one.
like me, professional.
Yeah, yeah, I'm
So
good one.
that time was probably the moment that you left your procrastination to the side and decide, now I'm going to do it.
Yeah, because I'm investing money on it.
Oh yeah, yeah.
Yeah,
That's certainly a good motivation. Yeah, you don't want to
yeah,
lose because it's hard to earn money, and you don't
yeah,
want to invest on something and then you don't do anything with that. Yeah, yeah.
yeah. That's the point. That's the point. It's really important.
And after you participate in the mentoring, at that time we had those live classes, and the classes well kept recorded, and you could access the classes and everything, all the material. What do you think it changed in regards to when you were writing your career episodes and your summary statement? Do you think did it change before and after you actually did the classes and with the mentoring?
100% changed a lot. And the good thing that you have all the classes recorded. I was all the time checking that
All right,
because
so you're a good student.
yeah, because for example, for the competencies, sometimes I wasn't getting like exactly what the meaning of that some competencies. So I was checking there to see how you were explaining the
Yeah, the
examples that you
examples.
always
Yeah,
provide. So for me, it was essential because say, oh, I did this. I remember that I did
yeah,
this, and then you can
yeah,
like address another paragraph.
yeah. Because
So
that's
I
one
was
of the
always
yeah.
checking.
Yeah, that's one of the difficult parts. What examples to use to address those competencies? Because those 16
Mhm.
competencies, and then, all right, should I use this example in what competency? Competency 1.1, 2.3, whatever. Yeah.
Yeah. Is
Okay.
that when you have you when you always you provide like real examples, you can like match the information that you have with your experience. So it's
Yeah.
easier to match and address competencies.
Mm-hmm. And were you trying to prepare your CDR and writing your career episodes before? So did you
Yeah,
start and stopped and start and stop, or
yeah. Before I do your mentoring, I was trying by myself. That's why Swelling recommend you. I was talked to her and said, I don't know how I even start. And then I start to writing, saying I don't know if it's right. And then I went to I always checking the booklet. Uh, Sounds good, but I don't know. Always I was like not sure if I was doing right or not.
Mm-hmm.
And after I got the first classes of your mentoring, I said, oh, I need to do all again because it's
You
not
had to redo
objective.
it.
Yeah, I redo it and wasn't good at all.
Yeah, yeah, that happens. That happens a lot.
Yeah,
Yeah,
because you don't know uh, the requirements. You don't know how needs to be done the right way. You don't know. So I was like looking at the booklet and I was trying to do, but wasn't the right way. Was
yeah,
totally unclear. Was
yeah.
yeah.
And you know, Erica is not new to you because not just with you, because it happened to me as well. I think I wrote when I did it because also I didn't know how to do it at that time. I think I did like 5 or 6 times each career episode because every time I was writing towards the end, that's not good. Just kind of going to the rubbish and start
Yeah.
everything again. It's just a waste of
Mhm.
time. Yeah,
Yeah, and you need to to choose the right uh, experience that you have to
yeah.
write. It's not that easy, you know.
No.
All these count, you know. All these count. It's not only right and that's it. That is all. You have a lot of tricks in little pieces to
Yes.
do the right way.
And I remember that after you submitted your application that you let me know, that Engineers Australia ended up asking you to provide some documents, extra documents. And then you were asking me, Harrison, but they're just asking me these documents. They're not asking about my reports. Do you think they still going to ask to fix the reports or something? Yeah, something like that.
I was worried about it. You calmed me down because I was thinking, maybe they only want the documents because when they finish to assess all my CDR, probably they're gonna come up with some question about the episodes. And I was thinking that only just to provide the documentation previously, you know. But after you said no, Erica, I think it's only the documentation. I think that with the episodes are all good. And I say, yeah, probably yes. So
Yeah,
after
but
I
when they
talked to
ask
you
for feedback, usually they just ask once. So
once, yeah,
if they haven't asked, for example, for you to rewrite your career episodes or to add more information in your career episodes and summary statement, then they were not going to ask anymore because you just ask
yeah,
pay slips and those sort of things that you had to provide.
yeah.
Because you
And
applied
then
for the
after,
RSCA.
yeah,
Yeah. So you
sorry,
got your you applied for the RSEA, those
yes,
the validation of your work experience. Yeah.
yes, I applied, yeah.
Yeah.
So that's why they are requesting more documentation.
Yeah. And that's very
So
important
they,
because then you can get more points in your immigration process.
yeah, exactly. It was amazing, amazing.
Yeah.
And good that I could provide everything and they approved all my experience. Was a
Oh,
lot.
yeah, that's excellent.
Yeah.
And just conscious of time, Erica, because you gotta go to bed soon.
Yeah.
If you could give a hint to somebody that it is in the engineering qualification validation process and is with the same difficulties that you had, what would that hint be? What would you advise to other engineers?
The first one, do your mentoring. The
Thank you.
first thing, obviously, yeah, I swear. Because make your life easier in all the competencies clear to write. And the second thing, be organized.
Yes.
Because sometimes here in Australia, you work a lot. You say, oh, I'm so tired to do it. I'm gonna do tomorrow, and then keep going, keep going, keep going. Like do 10 minutes, 15 minutes per day. Oh no, weekdays I cannot do. Weekends, so I'm gonna do 1 hour, 2 hours.
Yes.
Like needs to be organized and focused. Otherwise, you
Yes.
cannot get it.
No, yeah. I keep saying that the success of the validation usually is 80% organization and planning, and then 20% doing.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah,
And
obviously
sometimes we get tired to do it. For
Yeah.
example, I was in one of my episodes was really hard to do it. I was almost decorating all the episodes. So what I do, I'm gonna move to the next one. So you forget about that one and move to the next one, and then go back. I was doing like this because otherwise you never finished.
you never finish. No, yeah, it's like when you get stuck, then all right, give it a pause, move to the next one, fresh set of thinking, and then after a day or two, you go back and then you resume. Yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah,
exactly.
that's great, Erica. And
Yeah.
what does it mean for you now that you have your qualification validated? What does it change in your life?
Yeah, the most important thing that I can work as engineer here in Australia, because a lot of companies they require this validation for you work for the companies, and I do like to build a career here, and to get this is essential. Is
Yeah.
essential. If you are, but I'm working in a small company, it doesn't matter. Is essential. Is essential for you. Open a lot of opportunities for you.
Yes, certainly there's a lot of the market, although there's a lot of work for engineers, but the market is very competitive. And
Yes.
when you're applying for jobs, if you don't really have your qualification validated, it's very difficult even to get an interview.
Yeah. Mainly for government projects.
Yes. Yeah, especially
Yeah.
governments. Well, I work for government.
Yeah.
I can tell you that if an engineer is not validated, we don't even call for an interview. So
Yeah. So that's why, like, when you get this validation done, you need to add this in your resume. It's gonna get a lot of calls, I'm sure.
yes. All right. No, yeah, certainly. Thank you very much, Erica. I appreciate your time and congratulations again.
Okay,
You
thank
more
you,
than
Gerson.
deserve it, and I'll be here. Just wishing you very good luck in your migration process. I know that you're working hard to get all your points for you to be able to apply for a permanent visa. And I hope
Thank
that one
you.
day I can go and I can congratulate you in your Australian citizenship one day.
I hope so. We are fighting for this. We are in this path.
Yes, yeah, that's
Thank you,
probably
Gerson.
the ultimate objective or your dream. Yeah, now that
Yeah,
you want to stay
yeah,
here. Yeah,
yeah. And thank you for your support. Was essential for me. It was essential.
no, that's okay,
Thank you very much
Erica.
for this.
You've got all the competencies and skills. Everything that you did was yourself. One that's very important. I just kind of showed you the right way to do it.
Yeah, but
Yeah.
helped a lot, and you are like doing a great work in this project. I
All right.
appreciate this. Is amazing. It's amazing.
Yeah. No, thanks, Erica. And I can see that I've got some people making some questions in Instagram. I just like to remind them that I'm going to ask somebody after I finish the interview with Erica soon, I will ask somebody from the Instagram audience if they want to be live with me, and I'm going to answer some questions. So when I finish the interview with Erica, don't go away. I will ask somebody to perhaps be in where Erica is now
Okay.
and ask some questions and have a little bit of a conversation. Well, thank you very much, Erica. And
Okay.
I hope that your parents, they can watch this interview a little bit later on. And
Yeah,
I'm
yeah.
pretty sure that they are very proud of you.
Yeah, thank you, Gerson. Thank you for that.
Yeah.
Appreciate.
All right then. Okay, thanks. Thanks, Erica.
Thank you. Bye bye. Have a good
See
night.
ya. You too. Bye bye.
Bye bye.
Yeah, that's certainly great. And yeah, I'm very emotional when I speak with her because uh, I know, yeah, her journey, how hard she worked to get it there, and yeah, she certainly deserves it. What I'll do, I've got some question and answers session that I would like to do tonight, but also would like to ask from the Instagram audience if anybody would like to be live with me. The only thing is that because I'm broadcasting with Zoom, what I'll have to do is somebody wants to be live with me in that 15 minutes free consulting services that I'm giving away tonight. The only thing is gotta be here now together with me. If anybody wants to be live, what I'll do, I will send the Zoom link, and then you have to connect to the Zoom, and then you will share the screen with me like Erica did. So I'm going to answer some of the questions while you guys think about it. If you want to be live with me, perhaps put in the comments, maybe put in the comments me. If you put in the comments me, or if you raise your hand, put an emoji with the hand there, I know that you would like to be live with me now. And then what I'll do, I'm going then to text you the link with Zoom, and then you can join me here. So have a think about it. Have a think about a question that you would like to ask if you want to join me while I answer some of the questions that I received. There is one question here from Rodrigo in Instagram. How to apply the approval of our experience? Yeah, that's a very good question, Rodrigo. There is a process with Engineers Australia. Once you make your application, you can choose the services that you're going to ask Engineers Australia to provide. The normal one is the CDR assessment, which is the normal qualification validation assessment. And then there's a process in the Engineers Australia website that is called relevant skilled employment assessment, which is more like a migration process. I can't really provide migration advice because I'm not a registered migration agent, but if you select RSEA, Engineers Australia will assess your work experience and will validate in terms of years. So if you are going to apply for a migration process later on, you can attach then the letter from Engineers Australia. Let's say Erica, I think she got 6 years of experience in Brazil and 2 years here in Australia. So I don't know how many points does it worth, but because Engineers Australia validated her 6 years of experience in Brazil and 2 years in Australia, she can then talk to the migration agent, and then there will be extra points that it will be counted. There is a little bit of explanation in the booklet. You have to provide reference letters as the primary documents, and then you have to, that's what they call secondary documents, pay slips, tax returns, social security statements, and FGTS or the superannuation statements. So there are some documents and some documentation that you need to provide so Engineers Australia can be satisfied that you were working full-time or equivalent to full-time in an engineering position, and you were doing engineering activities for a certain period of time. Rodrigo, what do I need to provide in that letter? Yeah, there's a little bit of information in the letter there. You're certainly going to I've got a special module, Rodrigo, just explaining about the content of the letter. But basically, the name of the company, your title, how many hours you were working there, your base salary, the 5 main activities that you were doing, and some other aspects of your engineering skills and capabilities. So it's not a very complex letter. Can be pretty much just 1 or 2 pages. Obviously, it needs to be signed by the company, either your former supervisor or somebody from HR. There are some questions that I've received during the free workshop, and I'm just going to see which ones I haven't answered yet. Yeah, there is a question here that somebody asked about how long does the process take? And when they mean the process, they were talking about the validation process. So the preparation of the report, there are 2 separate timelines. The first timeline is the time that Engineers Australia will take to assess your application once you submit your application. So if you submit the standard CDR, Engineers Australia will probably take, well, now it's taking between 10 weeks and can take up to until 16 weeks. So there's probably a lot of applications now and because of COVID as well, they probably have less staff. So it's actually taking a while. If you pay an extra fee, what is called fast track, I think is about $305. Engineers Australia then will allocate an assessor much quicker. I think in the first 15 or 20 days, they're going to allocate an assessor, and then your outcome can be ready between 4 and 8 weeks. So that's what usually is taking. Obviously, these are the time frames that I see that some engineers are having. So it's either taking up to 16 weeks with the standard process, or up to 8 weeks with fast track. Can take obviously more. So that's the time frame of Engineers Australia. But then obviously there's a time frame, as Erica mentioned in the interview, that the time that you will take to prepare your documentation, the time that you will take to prepare your reports. So if you spend probably about 3 to 5 hours a week in preparing, in planning and writing your documentation, you're probably going to be finishing in about 2 months. So you got to be consistent, obviously. I always advise you guys not to kind of pick a day and then like do 10 hours of writing, because your brain actually is going to burn out. So which means that in the beginning of the day, you will probably going to be writing very good reports, but then after a few hours, your brain is going to be already tired and the quality of your report is not going to be good. So that's certainly dedicating between 3 and 5 hours a week is probably a good amount of hours to dedicate without really compromising a lot of things. If you're not working, some people, they're not working because they've got a partner visa, or they have a visa that perhaps their condition, they don't need to work, whatever. Obviously, then you can dedicate a little bit more time, but understanding that majority of applicants, they will be studying or they will be working, and then they will still have to find some spare time during the week. There's another question here from Camila. Yeah, thanks, Camila. If I want to ask for more than one occupation categories, is it possible for that with just one application? Unfortunately not, Camila. It's one application per category / occupation. So if you are going to apply, for example, in the category of professional engineer, and then one specific occupation. If you want to apply for engineering technologist, for example, you have to make a second application. You have to then write all your reports again in that level there. So if you're applying for professional engineer, your reports, your episodes and your summary statement, they need to be at the professional engineer level in terms of writing. If you're going to apply for engineering technologist or engineering associate, you gotta have a second application and then prepare your career episodes and summary statement at the level of engineering technologist and pay the fee again, and etc. So two separate processes. Another question that I got was, which are the main requirements I need as a civil engineer to work and live in Australia? So the answer is that to work and live in Australia, one, you need to get a visa to be lawful here in Australia, to be able to work and to live. Obviously, if you come as a tourist, you can come here and visit. You can stay for some period of time, but you cannot work. If you come as a student, you obviously you've got to study, and then you can work 20 or 40 hours depending on the type of study that you do and depending if you're on holidays or not. But to work and live indefinitely here in Australia, you will have to have at least a permanent visa. Obviously, if you have a temporary visa, you can live and work, but it's temporary. If you want to be here indefinitely, have the right to be here indefinitely, then you're going to have a permanent visa. And to work, as Erica mentioned in the interview, although many companies, they don't really ask for your validation to work in Australia, unless you are in Queensland. If you are in Queensland and if you are going to provide professional engineering services, you actually got to be registered as a professional engineer in the Board of Professional Engineers of Queensland. If not, you are actually incurring in criminal activity, and you can be prosecuted, you can go to jail, you may be sentenced to pay a fine or whatever. New South Wales and Victoria, they approved legislation in 2019 and 20, and from 1 July this year, they're going to start their registration process. So I think it was 5 categories of engineers: civil, structural, mechanical, electrical, and fire prevention, I think. If you are one of those 5 types of engineers, from 1 July 2021, they will start the registration process. There will be a transition period, but it means that in probably a few years' time, if you are one of those 5 types of engineering, you will need to be registered. And to be registered, you need to first validate your qualification and then have few years of experience and get to an equivalent of a stage 2 with Engineers Australia to become like a chartered professional engineer. So it's certainly a competitive advantage if you are a chartered professional engineer. I am a chartered professional engineer since 2009, I think. So it's been more than 10 years that I am a chartered professional engineer, which means that I can work autonomously. I don't need supervision to provide professional engineering services. So certainly I encourage you guys to, once you get your qualification validated, don't stop there. You can then apply for chartered professional status. I also have few questions that, and I saw that Lucas, he joined the live session in Instagram. I don't know if he's still there, but Lucas sent me some questions in the email, and I'm going to answer here. So just asking you guys in Instagram, nobody wants to share the screen with me, be embarrassed with me here. If you want to, I can send you the link to join the Zoom session. If not, I'll keep answering here the questions. And reminding that on Thursday, same time, 8:30 p.m., I'm going to be here again, and I will interview Ricardo Martins. He's a production engineer that he was here in Australia, and then he went to Spain, and he got validated in December 2020 as a production engineer. He's also a Brazilian engineer, and he got validated in December last year. And he was also one of my mentoring students, and I'm going to be interviewing him on Thursday here on Instagram, Facebook, and YouTube, 8:30 p.m. Brisbane time. And also just to remind you guys that I still have, I opened a new group of my mentoring group, and the enrollments are going to be open until Sunday. I'm actually going to put in here. The enrollments, they are closing Sunday, 25th of April, and there's current a special promotion for the first 20 students. The webinar offer, unfortunately, has finished. There was a $200 discount, but now it's just still got $150 discount for the first 20 students. And the enrollments, they're closing Sunday, midnight Brisbane time. So the questions that Lucas he sent to me was, I'll just have to translate. Do I need to have experience in the area to validate the qualification? The short answer is no. Engineers Australia is probably one of the few, if not the only, assessment organization that doesn't really require work experience to validate your qualification. So it means that if you don't have work experience, or if your work experience is not really very good to apply for a validation, you can actually use your academic engineering experience to validate your qualification. So, and it's very common. A lot of the engineers, they, even though those ones that they have a lot of work experience, unfortunately, the experience that they had in their home country didn't really match with the definition of occupation according to ANZ SEO, and they had to use the academic engineering experience in their reports. So it can be done just with the academic experience. Obviously, your academic experience needs to be relevant and matching the definition of ANZ SEO occupation definition. Yeah, certainly there's no minimum time of this experience, and there's no time frame to expire because you actually don't need to have work experience. The other question that Lucas was asking was that he's done technician course in Brazil in, how can I translate that, in building, or probably edificações, it's probably building or civil engineering drafts person, if he can validate this course as well. Theoretically, you can, Lucas. It's probably going to be the engineering associate category in the occupation of civil engineering drafts person. So depending obviously where you did that course, and depending on how you can demonstrate the competencies. So, but there's a lot of people that they've done technical courses or technician courses in their home country and engineering degrees. And it's certainly worthwhile having a consultation with a registered migration agent, because sometimes the pathway for your migration can be to validate as a technician, not as an engineer. Depending on, I don't know, I don't know if the demand is more for technician or engineers, but in some states perhaps could be easier to to migrate as a technician instead of migrating as an engineer. So I certainly encourage you to consult a registered migration agent and get some migration advice. The other question that he's asked was if I am recognized as an engineer in Australia, is it going to be easier to validate the qualification in the United States? Yeah, that's a very good question, Lucas. And I can tell you that if you are recognized as an engineer, it's going to be easier because, for example, I myself, as a chartered professional engineer, I can get validation or equivalent validation in the United States. And why is that? Because there is what it's called International Engineering Alliance. And there are, I think, between 25 and 29 countries that they are signatories to this alliance. And there is an accord called the Washington Accord for Professional Engineers, where Australia, United States, Japan, Russia, China, India, Pakistan, Peru, a few other countries, 25, 29 countries, they are signatories to this Washington Accord, which means that if I am a chartered professional engineer here in Australia, it's much easier for me to be recognized as an engineer in the United States, and not just in the United States, but also in any country which is signatory to that agreement. For example, in the place that I work, I have one of our project managers, although he's a Sri Lankan engineer, but he was registered as a chartered engineer in the UK, England. And when he came to Australia, he got recognition as a chartered professional engineer with Engineers Australia. So pretty much just filling the form and paying the fee. Didn't really need to do much else. So, but between getting your qualification validated and then becoming a chartered professional engineer, which then will pretty much make you eligible to apply to other countries as well. There's another process. To get your qualification recognized is similar to the stage 1 of membership eligibility with Engineers Australia. And for you to get chartered professional engineer status is stage number 2. So there is a little bit of work that you need to do to get to stage 2. All right. I've got another question from Camila. I've used some subjects from technologies courses as equivalent in the engineering course. Are there any problems with that? Just trying to understand the question here, Camila. I've used some subjects from technologies course as equivalent in the engineering course. Are there any problems with that? All right, so did you get credits? Did I understand that when you did the technologist course first, and then when you did your engineering degree, you got some credits from the technologist course? Is that the question? If that is the question, I don't really see any problem with that. Because if you finish your engineering degree and part of that, I don't know how many credits there were, but if the subjects that you did, or some of the subjects that you did in the technologist, engineering technologist course, they were credits to your engineering course. So it's like a legit subject that counted credits or points towards your engineering qualification. So I don't really see any problem. And certainly, yeah, during the mentoring, Camila, we can have a little bit more discussion about that. All right. Just going to check in Facebook and YouTube if I have any question there. Not quite. All right, guys. So I would like to. It's 1 hour already. So I would like to thank you guys very much, and make sure that if you're interested to have a look at the mentoring program, there is, I think, the lettering going on the screen. I did that today or last week during the workshop, and have a check out my mentoring program. The website is www.validationmentoring.com. I'm actually going to show you here, because I think I can. Yeah, I think it went there. So that's my website, engineersinaustralia.com. And as I said before, it's been 2 years that I don't know if I lost sound. Hopefully I didn't. Just going to double check. Yeah, I think I lost sound. Yeah, I think I lost sound. So I'm back here. So yeah, I'm back here because I think I lost sound when I transferred to when I transfer to the website. So I'll see if I can share the screen here, if it's going to work or not. Just bear with me a little bit. Shared sound. So where is that? I had somewhere here. Yes. Where is that? Yeah, I think now it is working again. I think the website is probably going to pop up soon. So yeah, I don't know. Maybe I lost sound again. Yeah, it doesn't look like it's going there. Is it going, the sound? Doesn't look like. Oh, it is. Yeah, I think it is. Yeah, I think it is going. Yeah. So this is the website. And if you can click in here to know more about the mentoring program there. So when you go there, it will open up. You can watch a couple of videos. There are videos in Portuguese. The left hand side is Portuguese, and the right hand side is in English. So I explain everything about the mentoring program in those videos there. And if you have a question, you can leave a comment in there. I also explain about the 9 bonuses that you will get when you enroll in the program. All of the bonuses, they actually valued at $1,300, but it's going to be yours for free. So I hold question and answer sessions every 2 months with my students, and the next one I think is going to be already 1st of May. And for 90 minutes every 2 months, I will be there live answering questions of my students. You will also have access to the VIP group in Telegram. I have a closed group in Telegram where my students, they have access to myself, so they can ask questions and I'll be answering there. You're also going to get my 3 ebooks, because I'm pretty sure that you will get validated as Erica did. And then those ebooks will help you to get your first professional job. The first ebook is for you to write your curriculum vitae to improve your chances to be selected for an interview. Same thing for the cover letter, 7 tips for cover letter. And then this is very important because if you don't know how to behave in professional interviews, then you don't get selected as the successful candidate. And this document here, my students, they say that's one of the most important ones, because it's a 13 pages document where I compiled a lot of the comments and feedback that I provided already to my students, and with the things that they did right and the things that they didn't really do very right. So if you follow those comments and feedback, you're certainly going to have a very, very strong application. Also, I put together a little action plan using 5W2H's. It's just a skeleton. Obviously, the content, you have to do it yourself, but using this methodology. And twice a year, I have catch-up sessions with the validation formula students, where those students that got validated and those ones that are still in the process, we get together and then we share experiences. As you know, if you want to go further, you don't go alone, you go with a company. And also the other bonus is some tools that I developed, the Career Episodes Planning and Summary Statement Assistant, where you're actually going to help in the planning and organization to make the writing of your career episodes and the summary statement much easier. And my mentoring program has 30 days warranty. So if you have questions about it, if you're still in doubt, well, you don't really have any risk because I give you a 30 days warranty. You have 30 days to kind of have a look at the program, and if you think it's not going to help anything, you just need to send me an email with a copy of your CDR to prove that at least you tried, and then I will give you back 100% of the money that you paid. And here you can watch all the testimony videos. Leila, she's a civil engineer that was validated January last year. Walter, an environmental engineer that he was validated April last year. And Erica, there's just the audio that Erica is the one that I interviewed just now. And then I'm going to interview Ricardo the day after tomorrow on Thursday. I still have another, I've got 10 engineers that already applied and they've been approved. So I still need to find some time to interview them. And once I interview, I will be including my YouTube channel. And there's another video with a few other students. So when you go there, if you're happy with that, you can click in one of the buttons. And I'll show you, Rodrigo, the portal. So once you go there, you can add to the cart. Hopefully it's working, because I'm the one that I did this website. I built my own website, so that's why it's not very beautiful, but well, it was the best that I could do. So once you go there, that's your cart, and then you proceed to check out. And then once you go to checkout, then here you put your name, address, and then you create your account, your email address, your username, and you set your password. And then you select if you're going to pay by bank transfer, PayPal, credit card, or you can now, without the webinar offer, you can divide in 3 payments. But when you divide in 3 payments, there's a $50 fee. So you will pay a $249 deposit, and then another 2 payments of $249. And then you can place your order. But I'm going to show you the portal. So once you become my student, you will be able to access the portal. And I'm going to log in as myself. So hopefully you guys can still see it. Because Rodrigo was asking how many online classes are there. There's a lot. There's almost 9 hours of content, Rodrigo. I was very careful to record a very in-depth content, a very step-by-step content, to really make the journey for you very, very easy. So even some tutorials, I've got even a tutorial how to navigate how to navigate the portal. There's all of those bonuses there, and downloads. You've got everything that's available for you. Let's see here, just about the CDR, just to explain the CDR. I got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 lessons there. I actually got some tutorials as well. I got a tutorial about the Engineers Australia My Portal. So once
Hi everyone, this is Jerson.
Yeah, I explained how to actually.
So I don't know if you remember
the application once everything is sorted.
Ask if I want to choose any
there, and each competency, for example, let's say P1.4, discernment of knowledge development and research directions within the engineering discipline. So there is a 9-minute video class just about that competency, where I'm going to explain
Welcome to this module.
a lot of the fundamentals. There is a PowerPoint presentation there as well.
And again,
and I also give a lot of examples
from
under
magazines.
that competency. So you actually can get access
In
and then
the
relate to your
industry,
experience. I teach you how to
relation,
use the tools that I developed to
on
help you
paper,
organize your thinking, to help you later in the career
thesis,
episode writing and
that's-
summary statement. So there's actually, and then there's page 2 of classes. There's and another interesting thing that I have here, for example, keynotes. This one being modules 8 to 18. I actually recorded a video with like a summary of all of those modules between modules 8 and 18. It's 42 minutes video that I have the key points of each module. So it's like a very big summary where I refresh all the knowledge. And also you have you can view the PDF of these keynotes here. So there's, I don't know how many pages there, but there's certainly a lot of pages and a lot of content there that you will have access. And you have access to the portal for like 1 year. So for the price of $697, it's really a bargain, you know. When I think about the hours and hours and hours that I spent to put together this mentoring program, it's certainly $697 is, and not counting the $1,300 of bonuses that you get as well. And as Erica said, because she paid, she had to do it. If I give all of this for free, you guys not going to do it. So, and also I pay subscriptions, I had to buy equipment, and so I have some costs as well. All right. I'll just check if I have any other questions there. If I don't really have more questions, where is that? Where am I? I disappeared. So yes, I'm back. Yeah, thank you guys. So I would like to, certainly thank you guys very much, and remind that until Sunday midnight, the mentoring program enrollment is going to be open. And then obviously from next week, I'll be dedicating my time to my new students and preparing for the live session already for the 1st of May. And if I don't really have any other questions, I would like to thank you guys very much. And I'll see you Thursday, the day after tomorrow, 8:30 p.m. Brisbane time again, when I'm going to be interviewing Ricardo Martins, production engineer that was validated in December last year, and he's currently living in Spain, but he's a Brazilian production engineer trying to obviously get a job here in Australia, and waiting for the borders to open as well. All right, guys. I would like to thank you guys very much, and I'll see you then on Thursday. I'll see you then. Bye-bye.